Happy spring, everybody. I wanted to take a minute to come here and talk about what people call weeds. I feel like it's this time of year that I'm compelled to offer a public service announcement on behalf of the dandelions and the dead nettles and the speedwell, because people come to me complaining all the time and annoyed by the appearance of these spring plants, when in fact, if we understood the ecological role that these plants are playing and the very timely medicine and nutrition that they're offering, I think our perceptions might change. So no class of plants is a weed. It's just a matter of understanding the plants that are growing where they are. So let's say you need to weed your garden bed, perfectly understandable. You want certain plants that you're cultivating to grow there and not the wild ones. But as you're harvesting and weeding these wild plants out, it's important to know that you can actually use them for food and medicine. So all of these early spring flowers and plants that are very small and often overlooked, they are a very important food source for pollinators. So they will be the first things to flower and blossom, the first source of nectar. And so it's really important that we allow these things to be there in order for the pollinators to have food so that they can survive, they can pollinate crops later on in the season. We wouldn't have food if we didn't have pollinators, so this is important. They're also food sources for various birds, other insects, small mammals, even sometimes deer will munch on things like dandelion leaves. They help make the soil healthy by providing nutrients, drawing in certain nutrients into the soil, and also act as erosion control. And so they serve a very important purpose, much more important than, monoculture grass species that people want to have in their lawn. So some of the plants that I'm talking about are dandelions. Everybody knows what a dandelion is. Purple dead nettles, henbit, ground ivy, various species of speedwell, chickweed, and violets. So all of these are out right now. They're in full bloom, and many of these offer a very high nutrient profile. So these are high in vitamins and minerals. And it's in the spring that the human body actually needs more vitamins and minerals as our bodies are coming out of the stagnation of winter. And it's time for all of our systems to wake up, come back online, get ready to start eating more fresh food, to process things, to detox a little bit from having eaten, preserved food all winter. And so they're coming out in a timely fashion. They're available before all the early crops, like even the lettuces and stuff. If they're not grown in a greenhouse, they're not ready yet. And yet these wild foods are ready and available and just waiting on us to harvest and eat them. One moment for the plane to pass overhead. And so not only are they offering nutrition in a timely fashion, all of these plants have affinities for the excretory pathways of the body. So many of them are going to be digestive aids. They're going to promote lymphatic movement and flow of the lymphatic fluid. They're going to promote sweating. They're going to promote kidney and bladder detoxification. They're going to promote expellation of mucus. And so in a lot of ways, it's kind of like our own little cleanse. So it's taking all of these systems of our body and kind of flushing out all the different things that bind toxins. So it really is like a natural detoxification. And it's very gentle, much gentler than some of these detox fads you can find on the internet. Furthermore, many of these plants are very supportive for allergies. So some of them have natural antihistamine properties. Many of them are going to help with watery eyes, drippy sinuses, runny noses, all these symptoms that we might have during spring allergy season. And also, their external medicine is that they're going to be topically very good for all manner of first aid. So everything from anti-itch to anti-inflammatory, mild pain relievers, antimicrobials that prevent wound infections, styptics that stop bleeding. And so, as we're starting to get outside more, we might have more need for first aid. We are, in the fields, we're in the gardens, we're doing our projects, we might get cut, the bugs are coming out, we might get stung or bitten, we might come against poison ivy, and all these medicines are now so abundantly available and just overlooked. And so I really encourage you to educate yourself about these plants, and if you are pulling them out of your yard, to learn how you can utilize them to build a very robust home apothecary that is seasonally appropriate and seasonally relevant. So there are so many ways you can find this information. If you do want to deep dive, I'm going to link in the show notes my Wise Weeds of Spring class. It's a pre-recorded mini class that's going to take you in a deep dive to the plants that I've mentioned here. I'll also link my Medicinal Monographs ebook and my Eating Wild recipe book in case you're more interested in the amazing ways that you can use these edible plants to make delicious foods this time of year. So if you have any questions, please reach out. You can find me on Patreon and all the other platforms, but definitely remember that there's no such thing as a weed, and the plants are here for a reason, offering us food and medicine in great abundance. Thanks for listening.